What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, episode number 25. We've got a big episode here for you guys here today. We are not going to have the gambling segment today. We're just going to answer some fan questions that were sent to us in our Discord, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Season 8 Ranked, a little guide for losers like us, because we suck. You probably suck. Hey, don't take offense. We're not pros. We all suck a little bit. That's all right. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the Reddit discussion and go into the server issues, details of that matter. But make sure you're following the Grab My Banner podcast on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. And then also join in on the Discord server. That's where we're at every single day. You can talk to us there. Boys, let's get into the Raise Energy question of the week. We just had Valentine's Day. We just had Valentine's Day this last week.
Yes, we did.
And if you were smart, you would have broken up with your significant other before Valentine's Day. But let's talk a little bit about how each legend would deal with the breakup around Valentine's Day, or just deal with the breakup in general. How would these legends deal with having their heart stomped on?
Can I just start with the most obvious one? And I'm not talking about Octane this time.
Okay.
It's Bangalore. The only thing she knows how to do in troubled times is shoot a pistol at a range.
Wow. Yeah.
That's what else is she going to do? She can't do anything else. All she gets is a P2020. She's going to shoot it.
Through rounds,
Listen,
bro.
She's not going to be able to kill anybody with an ult or do anything like that. She's just going to go and just blow off probably like 5, 7, 9,000 rounds.
That's very accurate. She's going through a lot of brass at the range. She is shooting everything. She's got so much. The ground around her would just be covered in brass.
I wouldn't be surprised if she had like an outline of like her lover, and then she's just shooting holes through his fucking face as he's capping out.
Yeah, it just has his face printed on it.
Exactly.
Just has four, just everybody outlined.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I put Gibraltar as the type of guy who would just disappear for months. Nobody knows where he is. He's just gone. Nobody knows what happened to him. He is gone. He probably went on like a sailing around the world in 80 days type trip where he's just nobody can find him anywhere.
That's what you would
just
think.
Disappear.
You would think, but he's actually going to be like, you're going to find him at the bottom of a vat of dough inside of a Costco's bakery. He just ate his way through it.
I said he's Gibby when he gets broken up with. That is a revenge bod waiting to happen.
Revenge bod waiting to happen.
And I don't mean he's getting in shape. I mean he's getting twice as plush.
Yeah.
Dude,
so he's a stress eater then. He's just an eater.
Listen, there's nothing to do with stress eating. It's just it can't break up with him.
Yeah. I feel that.
They can't escape his gravity.
Food can't escape him.
Can't escape it.
There is no food safe.
He becomes the Horizon ult.
For food.
No more sitting down and just
Literally,
not
he's
moving.
just so big.
Newt, you're retiring. We're bringing Gibraltar in now.
Oh gosh,
I love it. I feel like Horizon is the type of girl who like.
You better be careful now.
No.
You better be careful
now.
This is good. She's a sweetie.
Horizon. And every time I talk about her in the Raise Energy question, she's always like just very normal. And I picture Horizon, because she is attractive in game, I picture Horizon being like the type of girl who maybe she's sad, depressed, crying her eyes out for like maybe a week or two, and then she starts to work on herself, and then ends up like getting the "you up" text from the ex. And she's just completely over him, doing her thing, feeling good, feeling herself. Like a typical glow up story for like a girl. Because Horizon's just like she really is like the complete package.
Did you say glow up?
Glow up, yeah.
Is that a term?
That's
a term.
Is that a 2021 term? What is
no?
this?
That's been a term for quite some time.
Define it for me. I don't know what that means.
Are you? Sometimes I think you were like.
You live under a rock.
I feel like you're a time
I don't
traveler.
really. No one knows what that means.
You didn't know who the Chicago Bears were.
Are you a time traveler from like?
Are there a lot of forests in Chicago? I thought it was a city.
The Windy City.
It's the Windy City. There's no bears in Chicago. It's a forest, Brian. No, it's not a forest. It's a city, Brian. You got me all twisted. There's no bears in the city. Unless they have a zoo. Do they keep bears at the zoo?
Yeah.
I didn't know if they let bears in.
You were definitely a time traveler. You don't know if they keep bears at the zoo?
Dude, bears don't fit into any animal category. I didn't know if they
They're their own.
I know, that's what's weird about it.
Fucking bears.
I can see when you're making a zoo, you're like, we have the cats, we have
the dogs.
we have all the aquatic life. But are we going to build like a whole separate thing for whatever bears are? Like, that's a big talk you got to have. So I'm not going to just assume.
I think they're on the cat side, I believe.
No, they're fucking not.
I
Have
believe
you ever
they're
seen
on
a
the
bear?
cat side.
Bro, I've at least seen what a bear looks like. There's no cat in that.
I'm just saying
got
from
claws.
like years and years
It does
and years
have.
ago. I think
It does
they're
have
descendants.
claws. That's true.
I'm
So
not-
do
I'm not
lizards. That doesn't
100%
mean they're in
sure
the
on
cat family.
Okay, so getting back to the horizon.
There's no such thing
before-
as glow up.
Oh,
No one
gosh.
knows what that means.
Before you
God.
before you get to Horizon, Brian,
This
I just
guy.
gotta say I would not be surprised if Troy came to us one day. He's like, "Hey, what's up, you guys? I've been a time traveler this whole time. I'm from 4057. I didn't know what a zoo was. You guys filled me in. I didn't know what football was. You guys filled me in. I didn't know basic terms because I would just time travel back and forth between my homeland and here just to chill with you guys."
Wow, dude, I'm not even a cool time
Wow,
traveler. I'm a
he's-
fucking ADD time traveler. I can't even figure anything out. I'm literally just jumping between times, being confused.
Yes.
It's okay.
Is there not anything more
There-
on par?
Dude, I'm hurt.
I'm just gonna say this time traveler theory on Troy would make a lot of sense in regards to why he's so protective over Horizon. Because what I said was, Horizon's the kind of girl, she needs space. Mm-hmm. By space, I mean she needs to go into space, and she's probably gonna blame everything on the kid and leave the kid behind. But
Which
she's
she
gonna
does.
go into
She was
space,
saving
tends
the
to.
world,
and then she comes back 80 years later, but it's really like a couple hundred days, and whatever it is, whatever the ratio was, doesn't matter. But it explains why Troy's like, no, dude, she's a time traveler. She's in my fucking club. You need to back off. Like,
Yeah.
that explains
It's
a
all
lot.
kind
You guys are
tying
making
together.
me warm. You guys are making me warm.
What does that mean?
What does
I'm
that
just
mean?
I'm
That-
sticky now because
See,
you're making
listen,
me
we
think
don't
about
under-
all these things. What if I am a time traveler?
We
I don't even
understand,
know it.
Troy. We don't understand this phrase of "you're making me warm" in the context that you want. That's like a 2080.
I'm physically
That's
warm.
A,
I
that's a
don't know.
2080 term.
Troy, in
You're
40
overthinking. You guys are overthinking it.
Troy,
This is a time traveler.
Well, we don't know what to think anymore.
Troy, in 4057, is warm mean something different? Is
Wait.
that like what cool means or like awesome?
Why?
No, dude, I'm physically hot. I'm
Why
warm.
haven't you given me the correct lottery numbers yet?
Dude, I just want to know
Did
what
they
glow
get rid
up
of the
means.
lottery and-
No
They
one
probably
even
do.
told me what
They
it
probably
means.
do.
All I asked was, what does glow up mean? I don't know what that means. It sounds like a rave term, but I've been
it's
to
not,
raves.
It's just
It's
not
not
that
plur,
you're just
bro.
you basically you got hot is basically what that
Yeah,
means.
kinda.
It's
What
like
in
yeah,
the
it's
fuck
like you.
is that you're saying more things that don't make sense.
It
Troy,
means at one point
glow
you
up.
were not hot and then you got hot.
Yeah.
Basically, you were not.
Kyle just made the finger flick thing at me right now.
Yeah.
I was looking away. I missed that.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Troy,
All right, whatever,
Yeah,
dude. I don't care anymore. So she's
you don't
hot.
care?
So you're saying she
Listen,
wasn't hot
travel-
before? Then that she was hot before.
Travel
There's
back
no glow
about
up.
travel back about 3 years,
Okay.
and you'll understand what it means.
I meant glow up in like the
Like
the
personality, internally.
So now
Internally.
it's not even about physical attractiveness at
Well,
all.
what
So
you
you
said-
gave
listen.
me. I said give me one definition, and you gave me one that didn't
Troy,
even apply.
Well, you can
Troy,
translate it
it's
to
grow
emotional
up.
stuff.
It translates to grow up beautifully, whether that's internal or external.
Yeah.
But it's with an
'Cause
L
you're-
though, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
glow
it's
up.
called
Glow up.
glow because you're glowing. Your presence is glowing, so you glow
You're
up.
glowing up.
So you grow up.
So you're like
beautifully.
radioactive.
Yeah.
Yes, that's from
But in
all the
a good
solar
way.
system radiation that she went through. She needed her space.
In 4057, do they still have soda? Or
Okay.
that's the only thing I care about.
Nah, dude, we don't even drink anymore. We just shoot stuff straight into our veins.
Damn, Octane's ahead of us.
Yeah, I know he's ahead of the time.
Octane's the way of the future.
Octane's ahead of us. Which, speaking of Octane, I say that his breakup isn't a normal breakup. His breakup is the stem actually breaking up with him. He said, "You've abused me too much, and I'm done with you."
I would see. I put this as more of a pun, but I said Octane would run away from his problems.
That's
I said that Octane would just he'd be like Forrest Gump, and then after he gets broken up, he just and I just started running.
Yeah. What else was there to do? Yeah. What else was there to do?
That actually makes a lot of sense. I put for Loba, if you break up with Loba, because you got to understand something with Loba, for her to get into a relationship with you would take an insane amount of emotional. I don't even know what
Scarring
to say.
on your side?
On her side, because she has to get over all that to actually find somebody that she enjoys to spend time around. If you break up with her, you're going to need to click every block button on your phone, on the computer, everywhere, because she is going to be driving by your house. She's going to be trying to hit you up on every single platform ever. She's going to be messaging you on your DirecTV, trying to find ways. She's going to be emailing you on 70 different accounts. She's going to be texting you on 5 different phones. She's just going to be living at the cell tower trying to send messages out because she would she hates everybody. If she finds one person that she loves and they leave her again, she's going to lose her shit.
Side note on it, and this is why, you said she has to get over all that trauma, that past trauma. She's going to have to, but she won't get together with the guy that she uses to get over all that past trauma with.
No.
It's going to be the other guy. She latches on to the new guy. The new guy dips out because he hasn't been there for the whole shit. Mm-hmm. And she's just absolutely devastated. I say she goes back to the first guy. And then she rebounds.
You guys saw it so different than me. I thought it would be like a Slay Queen moment where she fucking started a live stream and then just went into the dude's house and took back all the gifts that she stole and gave to him and then drives away in the car that she gave him because it was hers to begin with, and it's all live stream. She's like, fuck you, I'm the finest one on Apex, I'm top of the cheek scale, and this is all my shit. Her car is literally just piled with expensive things that she stole for him, and she's live on stream takes it all back. That's
just as petty as possible.
So
petty as possible, dude.
And then in the chat, Kyle's like, Loba, will you bang me now? And she's still like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Every time.
Yeah. That would be the ultimate.
I'd still be trying to get in those DMs. My thing that I wrote for her was that she would just be cordially cool with it. They'd break up with her. She'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
Loba?
And then they'd be like, you're not going to do anything? And she'd be like, no, it's fine. And then, you'd look at your bank account the next day and just be straight zeros. And then on top of that, all this shit, all your family heirlooms and stuff would all be stolen out of your house. And then she'd sell them to the pawn shop near your house. So then you just have to walk by and look at them every single day, but you couldn't afford them because you have no money.
That would be yeah. All of these could fit Loba in one way, shape.
It's like a homeless
every
guy
bit
wearing...
involved being petty.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a homeless guy wearing your mom's wedding dress. How did that happen? That was so intentional. Speaking of intentional, I think the best one would be Caustic, because Caustic has the powers that no one else has in this lineup. The dude's he's an evil genius, basically. So you break up with Caustic, all right? Caustic's going to go through 2 phases, all right? I think a lot of us go through these angry phases. We either have a hot angry, right? You're seeing red, you're doing crazy shit, and you have a cold angry, where you're calculated, you're going to exact revenge, right? First, hot angry, all right? He's going to clone his ex over and over and just kill her every way that he every way that he can think of. He's going to kill that bitch 25 times until he finally gets all that red rage out. Then comes the cold phase. Then he's going to make a clone, okay? And he's going to raise it from a child, okay? But it's going to be a Benjamin Button sort of clone where it grows quickly. He's going to teach it that it actually is her. So it's 2 people with the same identity. And then he's going to inject this clone into her life. And the 2 of them, no one's going to be able to tell the 2 of them apart, but this clone's going to be slightly smarter because he altered her DNA, and it's going to take over everything that the other person did, and then she's going to become homeless, cry, come back to Caustic because she knew what happened, then he's going to kill the real one, and the clone will live on as his ex forever.
Why do I feel like this is the origin of Loba? The true origin.
It could be.
That's pretty insane.
It could be. It actually, there was a book I read. It was called The Double by Dostoevsky, and it was very similar to this, but it wasn't a clone. It was just some weird freak of nature. But that's what made me think of it. It was someone shows up in your life that looks exactly like you in every way and has the same name as you, but everybody around you for some reason is cool with it. Do you know how much that would fuck with you?
That would suck so much.
Oh, dude.
Did this happen to you in 4057?
Bro, I read it in a book.
4058. That's why you came back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Going from one of the smartest players on the roster to not the dumbest, but maybe the one who handles a breakup the dumbest, Mirage is definitely the dude who posts crying videos of himself on Snapchat, or those pictures on Snap where he'll you ever see these on your stories where you'll go through it and it'll be a picture of the person staring off in the distance and it says, "Don't talk to me. I'm not talking to anyone right now. Don't respond." Or some stupid caption like that, "Everything sucks, but don't talk to me right now." And he just posts that picture on all 4 social medias.
You just give me flashbacks to middle school social media.
Exactly. That's what Mirage is. You go from Caustic to that. Mirage is so sad, bro.
Dude,
Yeah, Mirage
there's
is sad.
so much pain
There's
in
so
that
much
guy's
pain
heart. Like, you
behind
could just
that
immediately tell
confidence.
that dude's pain is, like, immense, and he masks it, and it's so easily to see through.
Poor Mirage, bro.
Oh,
I can just picture him just being like, sad, but I'll find a way through. And then every Instagram post is going to be a black and white photo of him sitting on the side of the street, just looking off. And then it'll be like new beginnings, ... I really don't think Mirage would be like the drinker, though. I think Fuse would be the drink. Fuse would be the one who goes to the bar. Maybe he's a little down. I can't picture Fuse being that sad over anyone. I just picture him having a lot of one-night stands right afterwards.
Yeah, I see Fuse being the easy come, easy go kind of guy.
Yeah.
I see Fuse as the guy that like fucks your sister or something. Like,
With the, oh yeah, okay.
Why
All
my
right.
sister?
No, just like you break up with him and then he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck your sister," and then that's it. You
Or
know?
your
Like,
brother.
I've said it before. I feel like Fuse is the kind of guy that just wants to seek any pleasure in life whatsoever. Like, he seems like that
does
kind of
seem like a
personality.
pretty pure hedonist.
Yes, he seems like that personality. I think he doesn't care what happens. If you break up with him, he's not going to let that get him down.
Dude,
he's just going to continue. When you break up with him, the worst thing that's going to happen is you blow his fucking arm off, and he shrugs it off and walks away like
I was
nothing.
just about to say he broke up with his own arm and didn't even care.
Yeah, right? Like, he's like, oh, my arm's gone. Yeah, this was a
I'll
waste
find
of time.
another one, probably a better
Yeah,
one.
he's like, "Throw that away from me."
He's like, yeah, make me the best quarterback in the NFL.
He didn't even dispose of it properly. He was like, "Oh, yeah, can you guys get rid of that? Thank you." It just walked out. Just like didn't need it. Like,
None of it would phase Fuse whatsoever.
I think the robots in this lineup might get more affected than Fuse does.
Yeah.
By a breakup. Pathfinder,
for
dude,
sure.
Oh my god, he'd just be oil slicking himself all over the place to PC Mag, and fucking and obsessively taking care of his Tamagotchis because he needs some control.
That might be the best one
just
you've ever said.
He's just constantly feeding him.
Dude, what are you gonna do, man? They can't get away. That's what he needs, man.
I'm sitting here thinking he goes to Sears or some shit and finds the next plug, and you come up with that shit and fuck.
poor Pathfinder, man. He's probably got more feelings than Caustic, and he's a fucking robot.
It's true, man.
He tries to hide it. It's just a frowny face on his chest. Fuck.
We talked about this before the show, but if Revenant was to get broken up with, she'd be like, "Hey, Rev, I'm sorry, it's just not working out." He'd be like, "No, it's not working out for you." Just rip the heart right out of her chest, throw her out the window.
Yeah, you're playing a dangerous game, dating Revenant, man.
Yeah, if you ever just decide to date Revenant, you've already made a mistake, and then to try and break up with him would be.
I feel like
worse.
it would be so intimidating breaking up with him. But so, Rev, and he's just tapping the table with all of his like knife fingers, and you're just like, yes.
Yeah, that's not going to go well for you guys. I mean, we've got Wraith, who I can't really picture dating. She's got the OnlyFans. She doesn't really need it.
She would date.
She'd date.
She would date.
She'd be
Here's
one
the
of
thing.
those wild
But when
girls
she
with
breaks
the
up, you want to know what her results are?
Mm-hmm.
She puts on a massive sale on OnlyFans. $1.99 for like whatever the top line is.
Yeah.
It's like her ex is like, yeah, I know she has it. I didn't like it. That's why I left her. And he finds out, sees all the ads and everything. He's like, fuck.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, she just goes on a mass spending spree of ads targeted at all the things that he likes.
Targeting all the things he likes. All of his best friends are going to see that shit. And they're all just like,
Bro,
like,
you left that? They're like looking at their phone. Like, Dude, put that away, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you left that? What are you doing, bro?
Only 65 cents for the hard-boiled egg challenge?
Oh, man.
She charged me $15. Yeah.
I was dating
Yeah,
you.
I was the one putting him in.
Kyle.
I cooked him.
Anything else, boys?
well, we forgot about the ones that the Apex lore is pushing.
Oh, shit.
That's Watson and Crypto.
Dude.
Oh, God.
Well, if Crypto were to ever break up with Watson, well, we know why. It's because he thought she was boring. Mm-hmm. And then
Dude,
hold on. I'm not done.
God
I'm not
damn
done.
it, dude.
He broke up with her because he thought she was boring.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes home. She's like, I don't need him. I have my tentacle. And then she's fine.
Oh, great.
Thank
Can
you
we-
so much, Brian.
Let's ignore the tentacles.
Yes.
Let's
You know,
ignore the
they weren't
tentacles.
soulmates because she didn't let that side of her out.
And
When she's in the right, like I saw this on a sticker today. When a flower doesn't bloom, right? You don't fix the flower, you fix the environment, right? When her Japanese French freak doesn't bloom, it's because she's not being planted. Her tentacles are not being planted in the right soil.
Oh, God.
I hate you.
I hate this show.
And on the flip side, Crypto just turns into his normal sad boy self.
We good to go?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, boys, that'll just about do it and wrap it up for the Raise Energy question of the week. Head on down to repsports.com, reppsports.com, and use code BANNER for 15% off all Rep Sports products, but especially Raise Energy, because that is what we use to get pumped up for a big gaming session. You can get any of the flavors, get the variety packs. Once again, use code BANNER, BANNER, for 15% off. Let's get into the Apex News Minute, and we will see you guys on the other side. Welcome to the Apex News Minute. I'm Wyatt B. Our top story today, Korean professional Apex player Raz9915 is taking a significant break from Apex ranked play due to a massive influx of cheaters. The news wasn't surprising, as many streamers and content creators have been dealing with absurd numbers of cheating in lobbies for the last few weeks. Our second story, teasers surrounding the new Caustic Town takeover have gone up in Kings Canyon. The takeover will go where water treatment plant is currently at a date unknown for now. And our final story, Apex Legends released the first videos of Apex on Switch. The game is set to release on Switch on March 9th. That'll do it for the Apex News Minute. I'm Wyatt B. Wait, what the hell? All right, so let's get into the Reddit discussion of the week. And this one's kind of, most of the time we try to keep the Reddit discussion, more fun, and we like to have a cool little talk about whatever's going on in Apex. But I feel like because this season has been, I wouldn't say, a complete travesty, but there's been so many issues, non-gameplay-wise, plaguing Apex Legends over the beginning of this season. And it's really unfortunate, man, because you look at social media, you look at just the game itself, and I truly believe this is the best BR that is out there right now as far as anything that you have to offer, but the problems that are plaguing it, such as bad servers and random glitches and bugs, are really starting to cause problems, and a lot of players are having not a fun time playing it. And I think we can all agree here at this table, since we started this podcast, we've tried to keep it as positive as we can. We always try to give Respawn some credit. We try to give the Apex developers some credit and say, look, we know it's not easy. We know it's hard, especially when you're a smaller company, to make a game and to have, problems that you got to fix. You don't have the staff to necessarily do it instantly, so it takes some time. We've always sided with that. We've tried to do, and I think we've done a good job. But it's Season 8. These server issues have been happening since Season 1, and it's not like they're different server issues. They're the same server issues we've had since Season 0 and beyond, and they continue to happen, man. And we've seen how well this game is done financially. We've looked it up before the show just to make sure, and damn, if they haven't made a lot of money, and especially off of us at this table, it's starting to get bad, and I think we got to talk about it. So this week's Reddit discussion is about all the problems plaguing Apex right now. Brian, go ahead, Kyle.
Really quick, let me read this quote from this article from PC Games. EA has made about $846 million in the last quarter. So, and it says that Apex Legends is on par with Sims 4 for revenue. So they're like, Sims 4 is like their gold mine, and so Apex Legends is right up there with it. And they're outgrossing Madden Ultimate Team and FIFA Ultimate Team.
Those are
FIFA
huge.
Ultimate Team, dude, people fork over fuck tons of money for that shit.
There are literal streamers who their only thing is opening packs for that type of stuff. And listen, FIFA is probably one of the biggest games in the world, if already probably the biggest sports game, because everybody plays FIFA. Yeah. It's a huge community. And if Apex Legends is doing better than that, and we're still having these issues, you got to start thinking to yourself, okay, maybe it's time to stop being so nice and start actually saying something. And I think this community, it needs to, because this game, it's so, when everything's going well, this game is so fun, man. I cannot put my controller down. I will play for hours and hours at a time. But the last few weeks, these problems have been so bad that I've literally just stopped playing. I literally played so many different games last night because I played 3 games of Apex. I dealt with 3 laggy servers. One of the games I couldn't connect back to the lobby because it was just connecting to lobby screen for 4 to 5 minutes after we had lost the game. You get all this crazy stuff happening, and it's just, it makes it really hard to enjoy the experience. And I don't know, man. It's been tough. Brian, you have a list over there.
Yeah, so just in the recent ones, the recent bugs and glitches that have appeared, I'm going to go ahead and list off some of these. Now, mind you, this is a company this is a game within EA's companies. So not talking Respawn, but EA and their servers and their basically what allows the game to run fluidly. This is the second highest earning game that they have. This is something that they should be pouring a lot of revenue into. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly list off the ones that just came to the top of our head. Legends going invisible mid-fight when you're playing against them, like Halo status. Like they just turn like translucent. Slow-mo server, that's still around. High squad latency, so early games when you have 15, 20, 30 squads, however many it is, there's a lot of latency in those. We've all experienced that. At the beginning of the season, there was a jump bug where basically Legend would not stop jumping. I'm not talking the rapid jump that Octane had, but just random sporadic jump like sessions. You couldn't play the game. It was unplayable. Caustic Gas still sticking around after he dies. The lobby's audio not being able to process whatsoever. You can't hear anybody inside the lobby. The actual game audio itself, when you're inside the game, they can't get that down. That might be a Respawn thing, but regardless, that's still an issue. The return to lobby bug, where you try to back out of a game after you've died, it won't let you back out, sometimes taking upwards of 3 minutes to be able to get back into the main lobby. That's a huge issue. We've all seen no regs be an issue. Remember in I want to say ALGS, when Gibraltar tried to drop ult and nothing came down from it? That's a huge issue.
Especially on that big of a stage.
Yeah, that's massive. You can currently shoot through the center of the double doors when they're closed.
And throw arc stars.
And throw arc stars, nades, all that stuff through it. That's a solid. That's not supposed to be able to go through whatsoever. And it's not like you have to be super accurate to do it. Like there's a little gap or anything. They're just going through. Textures have been completely erased off some of the skins, and you look like you're running around with the fucking Michelin Man. Matchmaking taking absolutely forever with it, and it's not from a lack of player base, because the player base is actually up from what it was recently right now. Cheaters is a huge thing.
Yeah.
They need to put way more resources into catching and banning cheaters. And then the shooting through rails has always been one.
Yeah,
that's
that's
an
always
issue.
been a thing.
It's really finicky.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel natural when you're doing it. Like there's times where you're like, okay, I know that some of those should be hitting, not none of them, because I know some of them have hit before, or it's very finicky. There's little registration and walls and head glitches, things like that happen. Those seem more like Respawn things, but a lot of these, from what I see, looks like EA needs to be willing to invest more into the Respawn side of it to be able to make these servers actually capable. If you have a server that has 60 people on it, that server needs to be able to be compatible with 120.
Yeah. As you were going down that list, I've experienced just about all of these, and minus the shooting through the doors, but I know Kyle had that over the weekend.
Yeah.
So, and then we saw a clip of Lulu playing,
Yeah,
and
she
on
got-
stream, that happened to her. You know what's so sad is when you're watching the ALGS, and even in the early seasons of the ALGS, you could just see the server lagging on the main Play Apex Twitch account. You're watching the stream, and you see it lagging, and you're like, dude, that's so bad. That would be like that would be like
A blackout in the Super Bowl.
I was literally going to say that. A blackout in the Super Bowl. Now, that's only happened one time throughout the entire Super Bowl's history. Problems happen. Things happen. But, dude, this has happened so many times. And at this point, you got to start realizing, like, hey, you're going to lose a player base really quick if you can't figure this out.
Well,
you're going to lose them.
For EA and Respawn to have that, be making the profits that they're claiming they're making off of this game and off this community, and not be willing to pour back some of those funds into the community, I find that as a very big issue. I love Respawn. A lot of their balance changes, things like that, I agree with a lot of them, and they're really trying to make the best playable game from that perspective. But these server issues, this will kill their game.
The thing that bothers me the most is I see the developers on Twitter and everywhere else taking stands on other things that have nothing to do with the performance of the game. But then when it comes to server issues and stuff like that, you're not hearing a fucking word. Now, listen, I know that they can't do anything about it. But when we're trying to figure this out, we finally get a tweet today from Respawn. Finally, we don't even get it from the Apex account. We get it from Respawn after what feels like, I mean, it's been weeks. We're trying to figure these issues out, and we finally get one today, but we're seeing the devs like tweet about other it's frustrating. And I don't want to blame them for this because, you know, they just made the game. They're not the ones trying to, you know, fucking they don't deal with the servers.
They're not pushing it forward. Real fast, I want to clarify on one thing you said. When we're talking about some of the other topics that they are touching on and replying to the tweets of and getting comments back on, we're not saying not to acknowledge those, not to reply to those. We're saying do both.
Yeah,
we're saying do both. Not ignore those and just focus on the gameplay itself. But you need to be able to do both as a company.
Yeah, and we have no problem with, you know, them talking to the community and figuring out things for like the lore part of the game and different stuff like that. There's no issues there. It's just when you're watching the game fail and have all of these problems and you're like, dude, I love this game to death and I just want to hear about what's going on, you know, and they've said they've been working on the server since day one, and I really find it hard to believe it. It's kind of become a situation where it's like fucking The Boy Who Cries Wolf. It's like, we've heard this so many times. We've heard that you've been trying to work on audio. We've heard all this type of stuff, and it's like, it's not getting fixed. And the worst part is you're seeing it on a huge scale. You're having people tune in to watch Imperial How, Lulu, all these people, and you're watching their streams literally shake from servers. You're watching Lulu get shot through doors. You're watching all these people die to cheaters. The cheaters thing is another thing too.
You need to have more than just
it can't
one.
Just be hideouts.
You need a department. Hideouts needs to be a department.
Yes.
Within your facility that specifically does this, and you should honestly be trying to get. I know you can't get one in every lobby. That's not going to happen.
No, but
like one in every server or so wouldn't
somebody
be,
going at a time frame.
Like,
you know?
It's just something. You don't have to be 24/7, whatever it is, but you need to be able to like monitor these games. If you get a report, you need to be able to have somebody to go through that report and check on that.
It can't just be hideouts, man. Like,
it's too much for one. There's too many cheaters for one.
It's like one guard dog for an entire prison. You know, like you can't do that. And the hideouts took a vacation, a much needed vacation, and
probably much deserved.
Much deserved. And over the weekend, every stream I'm watching, you know, you're watching people just there's cheaters in the lobby. You're watching dudes who are, you know, bronze. And actually, an Apex Pro in Japan literally quit. Or maybe it was Korea. No, I think it was Japan. He literally quit. He was like, I can't deal with this. And then Respawn hideouts had to say, yo, what's up, dude? I'm going to do my best to fix this. I'm sorry. He's getting in there trying to fix it, but it's like, dude, like, you can't just have one guy. You know, like, that's just, you can't have that.
When they first started, and we were very, very much in favor of the dev side and the, you know, the company of saying, like, okay, we understand. You're a new company. You're a young company. You're a company that's made something that's great, and you're doing the best that you can with what you have to work with. You guys have had 2 years now, 8 seasons, 9 if you count season 0, where this game has thrived. At launch, in the first month, this game made $92 million. That's a lot of freaking money. I know that goes quick in a business. I understand that a business of this scale, that does go quick. But you've continued since then. You need to be able to, not just into the lore, not just into things like that, which you're doing a phenomenal job with the lore and the story of this game and the story with the Outlands and all that kind of stuff. We love that. Continue to do it. At this point, I'd rather see less marketing, which we've complained about the marketing department not getting enough funds. I'd rather see less marketing and have that revenue poured towards an anti-cheat and poured towards servers at this point. Because then word of mouth is going to do your advertising and be like, yeah, they've really done well in the game and all that kind of stuff. That's going to help. I mean,
And the thing about, you talk about advertising, it's like, bro, you got Shrugtool, you got someone who leaks, you got those two dudes who are just, and you got Tobias.
Yeah.
Those guys have probably made you more money through their advertising, and they're working for free than your entire advertising department. They released a tweet today of just one dude trying to grab a care package, and he died to 4 ults a Horizon ult, a Gibraltar ult, a Fuse ult, and a Caustic ult, all thrown at him.
Was it? Yeah, I saw that. Was there?
And
there was a Gibby ult in that too. I thought it was just.
I thought there was a Gibby.
I thought it was
ult.
just a 3-stack.
It might have been. It might have been the 3 ults. Either way, this dude's dying to all 3 ults, and they made it like this cool thing. And every fucking Apex player was like, "That's the problem with your game right there," and they're all pointing it out. It's like your advertising team is not. I don't want to say they're not doing a good job. I'm just saying those other guys could do a lot better, and you could put that money towards server fixes and stuff like that.
It's not that they it's not a lack of ability on their side. I think it's a lack of tactics. Like they're not going about it the right way. They're not using all the resources that they have at hand. Because in today's times, with the way the internet is and everything, the community is a resource, and they could go about it that way. And that, in a sense, would mean that they probably don't have to pour as much money into the advertising as they are, because they can use the community for that. The community loves the game. The community is going to back the game. But the community is not going to love the game if it has server issues, major bugs, glitches, if it's just absolutely just a shit time playing it 50% of the time, because you're not developing the game enough on all sides.
We're going to move on. I know it was a little somber there for the Reddit discussion, but we had to say something. You got to say something. When we have some sort of a platform, you got to make sure you let these problems, you got to air them out. You got to let the people know what's going on. So we're going to hit a quick ad, and then we're going to move on to the main discussion of the Season 8 Ranked Split number 1, Guide to Success for Losers Like Us. Alrighty, here we go. All right, would everybody agree at this table that we're all losers at this game?
Yes.
Have you seen my lines?
Yeah. Okay.
Definite pleb.
Troy,
Yes.
how many times did you fall off?
0 times.
You didn't fall off this time.
I'm getting better at figuring out where the map ends.
He learned where the
But the
solid ground
trade-off
is.
was that I can't play fucking Kings Canyon to save my life.
I don't think that's just you. I think that's a lot.
Dude, that map fucking blows.
I love that
big
map.
fat chunk of cock.
I love that map.
I can't stand that map.
I love it. I
They
love
just
that
made
fast-paced
this
action.
wonderful Olympus, and then they just like rub they just give you this big fucking mega swirly of Kings Canyon.
We'll get it out, bro. We'll get it out. Either way, rank split 1. Now, I've already gotten the platinum. Where are you sitting at, Kyle?
Actually, I'm only at gold 4 because I've been having such a hard time. I haven't had a group to play with, and grinding through gold actually kind of sucks on Kings Canyon.
Yeah, it's not easy
because I tried to play a couple solos, and it's tough, man. You're getting fucking wrecked, and like, it's not like you're getting wrecked by the first team. Like, I can kill the first team, I don't care, but it's like the 9th team that comes to try to kill you. You're like, what the. Where'd this guy even come from?
Yeah.
Like, and I've got like 7 teams shooting over the top of me. I'm trying to hide in a corner and pop a fucking Phoenix kit. Like there's just so much shit going on. I
know exactly how you feel. Brian, where are you sitting at right now?
So I'm still pretty low. I have not really played much lately. I've been trying to play with a bunch of like newer players that are just coming into the game. So I've been waiting till they're able to play ranked and things like that to be able to play with them. So I'm keeping mine low for the time being.
So you still got your rank grind to go through?
Yeah, I'm at silver 4. So I've gone up a little bit, played a little bit, but I haven't really played much at all.
And then Troy, you're not playing ranked right now, right?
No, dude, I play with you guys, and I love playing with you guys. But I'm just trying to. I'm still in the process of falling in love with the game. I love Olympus. I fucking hate Kings Canyon, so like that was a big turnoff for me. But I still really enjoy playing with you guys.
But ranked, no, right now.
So no ranked.
Okay. So we're still sitting pretty low here, but let's go through the guide. Let's start with the legends that you want to be using in ranked if you're a loser like us. I will go first. I think Octane has finally made his way into a very good spot. I'm seeing a lot of pros use Octane. His pad has really become a weapon rather than a liability. He's been very, very useful, and I like watching people use Octane because for so long, I mean, he was the first DLC legend, and his first time now he's starting to make it into like a good Predator lobby ranking system. Now, we're not Predators, not even close, but he's a good legend to use. He regens health as his passive. He's got that pad, and he can stim so he can get away from fights. I think Octane is a good legend.
Well,
and he's fun.
And he's fun.
And he's a shitload of fun. I remember back, dude, when we first started this podcast, we were like, man, Octane might never be meta.
Yeah.
And we were like, you're like, man, he may never make it in, but he's fun as fuck to play. Look at him now, bro.
Yeah,
he's in the meta. This is insane.
He is in there.
This is what gives Rampart hope.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Another legend that's out there and really good to play is Revenant. Now, Revenant has been in the conversations for, people wanting buffs for him and stuff like that. I think they have proven after this Octane Revenant Bloodhound meta, he don't need a buff. You just need the right composition around him, and there is nothing wrong with that. Revenant's ability to use that totem is really good. Whoa. I think Revenant's pretty solid player to use as well.
So Revenant is good on this map. I think he's Garbage Town, USA. If you play him on Olympus or you play him on World's Edge, he's literally trash. You can't play him.
So, but I mean, for this rank split, it'll work.
Yes. Well, KC, the reason why he's so good on KC is because his added wall climb, he can literally climb almost every single building in the entire map because they're all small.
Yeah.
In all the other maps, there's gigantic buildings that he can't climb at all, and I think that's what makes him bad. So in this, he's like, he's the king because he can climb anything. There's no elevation where you really have to struggle to get to the high ground because he can just get to it easily. And he doesn't have to use an ability. He doesn't have to use anything like that. He just climbs it, and then he's just there. And he does it quietly without any sound. So, I mean, I think that's why he's so incredibly good on Kings Canyon itself because there is no high ground that he cannot get to.
I think there's definitely a buff to Revenant being in Kings Canyon. It's just like there's certain legends that are better on maps than others. Just like Watson is not good on Olympus, but she is pretty good on pretty good on World's Edge. She used to be top tier. She's kind of lost her place to another legend on my list, but I think the power of that Revenant is very similar. And the only time I think we'll ever see Revenant creeping into the meta is times where we see a comp that fits him, a very fast, explosive comp in a sense. So either Wraith, which they nerfed her portal, being able to come out of the Revenant ult and use portal. So that's probably not going to happen. But this Octane meta is very explosive, being able to use his ult, use Octane's jump pad while in Revenant's ult, cover a massive distance, be on top of a team, die, and then immediately repeat that process. It's like they get third-partied without even realizing it, and it's just you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very strong advantage, and I think as long as Octane's meta and Revenant doesn't receive a nerf, Revenant will be in a very high placement.
Yeah. So those are two legends that I think are doing really well. Some other legends that I think are meta, at least for right now. Caustic is still going to stay in there. Gibraltar's still going to stay in there. People are complaining about Wraith, but she's still in there. All those legends are pretty good ones. Bloodhound as well. So you can use pretty much any mixture of that. Unfortunately, I still think Pathfinder's a little bit outside of it, and it sucks.
He's outside the box just a tiniest bit.
I got some very exciting news about Pathfinder. There is one of the Apex devs has confirmed that we will be getting low profile removed from Pathfinder.
That's perfect.
And that he's going to get another passive added. They're thinking a spyglass. So while he has no guns in hand, he should be able to aim down sight and be able to zoom in on an area to scout for the team.
That's actually really cool.
That's pretty dope.
That's
so
very cool.
I was waiting to say that till we got to this talk, but that's
Yeah,
so I
that's
saw
awesome.
that. I saw that on iTemp's play. I want to say you put it out today. It showed a Reddit discussion of a player asking one of the devs, and the devs replied with that.
Let's move on to the weapons. We got through the characters right there that you should be running or could be running. Let's move on to the weapons. Now, there's a lot of weapons that are... There's a lot more weapons dancing on that fringe line than there are characters, because you can use a good amount of characters, and then you know which ones are good and which ones are not good. Weapons are a little bit different. I think there's only one weapon that separates itself from everything else, and it's so unfortunate because I hate using it. But if you want to move on, you have to use a Mastiff. You have to. There's literally, and I hope that at the season split, I hope when we do the rank split season 2, or the rank split 2 season 8 ranked guide, I hope the Mastiff is so far away. I hope it's a million light years away, okay? I hope that's the case, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. The one weapon that you have to use is the Mastiff. Now, there's a list of guns that you can use as your primary weapon, and I think If anything about Apex Legends, their weapon meta is in an extremely good place.
Except for
there are so many options.
Yeah,
other than the Mastiff.
Other than the Mastiff.
You can use the R99. You can use the R301. I see a lot more pros use the R301 than the R99. You can use the Hemlock. You can use the Flatline. You can use the Volt. I thought the Volt changes were going to make it shitty. It's fine. It's not as good. It's not as good, obviously. It loses damage, but it's still good.
Even the alternator's creeped up
the
there a little
alternator,
bit.
I was just about to say that.
That EVA 8, that buff actually
EVA
made a
8
difference.
Made a huge difference.
Did make a difference.
Shooting a little bit faster, actually up close, is ridiculous.
The Wingman will never leave.
Wingman's never going to leave. They would have to just obliterate that fire rate to be able to do that.
Yep.
That 30-30, like, that gun's actually
really
that's
good.
actually a good gun. Kyle used to hate on that gun like no other. Kyle, what are your feelings now?
So I've changed my feelings towards the 30-30.
Oh no!
Me and the 30-30 have become close friends. Okay?
Wow!
Over the weekend,
what changed?
We held hands a little bit, and I was like, wow, shooting people in the head for 100 feels pretty good, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got obviously the Devotion when you have the right attachments, Havoc when you have the right attachments. There's so many guns that are decent in this game. I think if we could round it out to the top 3, what would you guys say?
Flatline.
Minus the Mastiff.
Minus the Mastiff? Okay.
Why the Flatline?
Let's go top 5.
Flatline's good.
Flatline's fucking
Let's
good.
go top 5.
It's all over the place, though.
No, let me explain. Anvil receivers.
Yes.
Hipfire on that Flatline
is amazing.
Is actually the DPS on the Flatline still higher than that Spitfire.
Yes.
Like, and it.
Oh, the Spitfire.
Yeah, Spitfire's Spitfire's good.
Spitty.
But Flatline actually has the ability to be a top tier weapon. The thing that holds it back is that recoil. But if you can manage recoil, it's an amazing gun.
Yes.
All right. So I would say let's pick 5.
Okay, you want to
pick 5 at this table. Let's get a round table discussion here.
Okay, Mastiff's
Mastiff's not in it because
We
already
it's
know.
already
Everyone
top
knows
tier.
Mastiff is.
So Mastiff's top tier. Let's go R301. Can we all agree with
Not
that?
the red weapons?
Not
No,
red
no,
weapons.
Not the red
Not
ones, because those are already.
Yeah,
That's
those are
basically
above
where
the
the Mastiff is.
Yeah. That's Mastiff should be one of those.
Yes.
R301.
Yes.
Yes.
Can we all say yes on that?
Yeah.
Let's all say I.
Aye.
R99.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I can't
Hemlock.
believe you said R301. Just because the pros use it, you don't use the R301.
I love the R301.
I started using it, actually. You want to know what made me use it? So I got the Gibraltar
Anvil
heirloom.
Receivers.
No, not that, actually. So I got the heirloom for Gibraltar from this event. And when you get the heirloom before you get your 2 free packs, you get 900
You get
Apex
more
coins.
points,
Yeah.
right.
So I got 2 packs with 900 Apex coins, 1,800. There was an R301 skin that I've always hated.
The
I
skull
thought,
one?
Yeah. I thought I hated
yeah.
it, and it has a skull on it. And I was like, this skin sucks. But I had 900 coins, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just get the skin. That skin is so fucking sick that I started using the R301, and I was like, I actually like this gun now. So R301 is on my good side for
It
right
improves the iron sight, too, I feel
yeah,
like.
and the
that and
eye,
the
the
winner's
eye,
one, too.
it flashes
both
green when you have it. This is pretty sick.
Mm.
So we got R99, R301, Spitfire.
I. No.
I. No, it's
Nay.
I.
Nay.
It's I.
I think
Brian.
I think there's better options.
There's
No,
no
Brian.
way.
Dude.
Flatline's
I'm
better.
not. I'm not ranking it number 3.
fucking
I'm still.
rounds, dude.
I haven't thought entirely yet that I think the Flatline's better.
The
I would say the Flatline's
Okay,
better.
the
Spitfire's
we'll-
hipfire is one of the most
we'll
controllable
come back to the Spitfire.
hipfires
We'll
in the
come back
game.
to the
We'll
Spitfire.
come back to it. We'll get
All
some
right.
other ones out of the way, and then we'll see if Brian likes to. R99, R301, Hemlock.
Nay.
Nay.
Flatline's better.
I say yeah, but I think it's not in the top 5, but I think it's close.
It's good. It's not top 5. though.
Yeah, it's
Then there's
not.
no
Not
way we're
anymore.
not putting Spitfire in.
The Spitfire
okay,
took its place. That's why I'm
Flatline, yes.
saying
Yes.
Flatline,
I.
yes.
I say I on
Aye.
the Flatline.
Aye.
I'll take your guys' word for it.
Okay.
I'm
Okay. So now we've got Wingman.
3.
Aye.
Nay.
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 Not a chance.
I guess the 30-30 is better.
30-30
I would say the 30-30 is
30-30 is
better.
better.
You're right. And I would take a Volt over the 30-30.
Volt.
Aye.
Nay. Jesus, nay. No
What?
way.
Really?
Troy,
No
I think you
way.
just don't know how to play with subs.
Dude, I can play with the Volt. The Volt's damage drop-off is significant now compared to pretty much anything else.
If you're trying to use
And it
it
has
from
a
long
smaller
range,
mag than
if you're
most
trying to
other
use it
weapons.
from long range, you're using the gun wrong.
I'm not trying to use it from long range.
Then you shouldn't have an issue with the damage.
I don't have an issue with it. I have an issue with it relative to other weapons.
I don't know what else we're going to put in here because we've got the Flatline, we've got the R301, we've got the R99, Spitfire.
I know. I say
The
name. I say the
Spitfire's
Bolt.
a
Okay, hold on.
Fucking
Time out.
layup.
Before we do that, 30-30.
No.
It's not top.
The G7 Scout is better than its
Then what the
G7's
fuck are you
not
not
better.
putting the Spitfire in there?
That's what I'm saying.
The
That's what I'm trying
Spitfire
to tell Brian.
is a fucking
the Spitfire
layup.
doesn't feel like
That gets us to 4.
The
The
DP
Spitfire's a dude. Brian, there's
you
no
can
fucking
you
way.
can kill a whole team
Brian.
with one mag of the Spitfire.
It has 55 rounds and
Brian,
the best hip fire in the
listen,
game.
If you say no to the Hemlock, but the Spitfire's out, I don't know what else to
I
add
would
in
put
there.
the hip. Okay, thinking about it now, listing all the weapons, the Hemlock is above the Volt now. So I would say Spitfire Hemlock.
I
At
would be
worst,
fine with that.
At worst, Spitfire and Wingman.
I would say Volt
If-
Spitfire.
Listen, if Spitfire creeps in as the last one, I'm gonna just agree to
Agree to
disagree on
disagree?
it.
All right,
but
that's fair.
yeah, I would much rather have a full auto than a burst.
Let's move on to places that you should drop on the map. If you want my honest opinion, just when you jump out of the ship, turn towards the closest edge of the map and just fall right off of it. That's the best place to land on Kings Canyon.
Honestly.
There's nowhere to go. I mean, honest to God. We're going to get an actual opinion from Brian because he does like the map. But in my opinion, this version of Kings Canyon, it is so difficult to find a place to go for me because it's so instant that you're going to die. Because I didn't like last season's World's Edge. But what I will say about World's Edge, and I will give it a compliment here, is that there's a lot of places to drop. You could go to the Dome, go to the rocket ship. If you really wanted to get crazy, you could go into the capital city, even though it was very hot. But you could also go to Epicenter. There was that small little area. What's the one next to Epicenter? It has the guns on the walls.
Oh, Armory?
No, it's fuck. I'm trying to remember.
I can't think of the name.
Yeah, I can't think of the name.
That's
either.
that one. That's good.
But there's that place. You've got the places in the farthest northern part of the map, right? You got those two areas right there. You could go. There's so many places to drop. In this one, it is a struggle to find a place that's not a POI to drop and get proper loot. So, you got to drop in those POIs. I do like the Spotted Lake in the northern part of the map. I do like that new area that's been opened up. But Brian, let's get a better perspective on where you think people should drop if they're really trying to grind in ranked.
Well, first off, it comes down to your strategy in it. If you're trying to get placement and guarantee that you're going up, you're playing the wrong map, and you need to wait till next split.
Yeah.
You have to understand that in this game mode, so they upped it. I used to say get your 5 and survive with the old one. They upped it to 6, so I don't have a catchy phrase for that. Sorry. Get your 6 and get safe. I don't fucking know what to tell you. We'll work on that. But I've said it before. The easiest way to get kills and assists are in the early game fights. You want to drop somewhere that's not hot. You don't want to drop the fucking spaceship somewhere. But you need to drop somewhere where there is a chance to at least run into at least one team. I'm thinking water treatment plant's not bad. Depending on the way the ship goes. Crypto's like little area in that southeast part of the map where you can scan and see where everyone's at.
It's got good loot, too.
It's got great loot. Enough to loot you and 2 other teams. If that happens to happen, I hope it doesn't because then you're going to have 5 other teams on you real fast. But if you do make it out of that, you're able to see where everyone is, and you can see the best way to go. Because by that point, you have 1 to 2 kills plus assists, and you're able to kind of avoid the other teams and take the route you need to get your placement and get your points. I think that's a very good spot. There's a couple places here and there that you can drop. Again, depending on the map, you're kind of focusing on the corners of that southern half of the map, primarily. Octane's Gauntlet, things like that. You just don't. If you're going to find a team, you want to make sure that no one in their right mind would go that far out. Like elite, and if they do, it's only 1, maybe 2 at the most. So you're not dealing with 4th and 5th parties. Deal with those once you get kitted.
Imagine if we had just like 2 or 3 more good places to land. Maybe like a place that had a skull in the middle of it,
or something with a dome
maybe
in the
like
name.
a dome, and then maybe like a city on the outside of both of those. I mean, that would really split things up. But either way, that was the ranked guide for the season 8 ranked split number 1. We don't have a gambling segment this week, so we're going to move on and answer some of our questions from the Discord server. We will see you guys on the other side after a quick ad. Here we go. All right, so because we're moving the gambling segment to next week's episode, we are going to answer some questions from the fans that they left for us in the Discord server. If you're trying to get into the Discord server, don't forget to DM any of us. We'll give you guys a code to get in. We've tried to do the forever code. It just never seems to work. So we will get you guys in there. Either way, first question, have you ever stolen something from a close friend and they found out about it?
No, I've actually never stolen anything my entire life.
Have I ever stolen something? Yeah, absolutely. When me and Chris almost stopped being friends because I stole a bottle of rum from him when we were too young to drink. Yeah, there was a bottle of rum that he had from his parents, and I loved it. It was called Cruise On Clipper, and I kept asking him over and over to buy it off him, and he's like, no. And that night we got drunk, and I took it and like walked home with it, and I didn't drink a sip, and I felt so guilty I brought it back. But it was like, that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I stole it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't steal anything from a close friend, but actually this involves me and Kyle. One day I showed up to school and I asked to see Kyle's iPod because he always had his iPod on him, and I never had an iPod Touch. I had a little shuffle that I would clip to my belt, and I would walk around before class and listen to music, and Kyle goes to hand me his iPod, and I grab it, and it falls out of my hand and cracks on the seats, on the cement while we were waiting to go to class. And I just, like, I have it burned in my memory of him looking up at me and being like, bro, what the fuck? Like, he was so mad. And Kyle doesn't really get, especially at that point. Like, Kyle's grown up a little bit more, so, like, life is, you know, it makes you more mad than it did when you were a kid.
But I'm more angry now.
Kyle's developed anger issues
from
Apex.
But, like, that was the most mad I'd ever seen him. And, like, it was before school had started, and we still had break, we still had lunch, and we still had after school, and I was like, fuck, I have to deal with this all day long. And I knew that, so I felt like I stole his iPod from him, but I really just broke it, and that sucked.
It's all good.
Have I ever stolen anything from you guys?
No, I don't. You would never do that, honestly.
I'm trying to think of a time where I've royally pissed you guys off. Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Wyatt said yes. When is that?
Literally last week. During the show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that made me
upset. Just little shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
like
I've never stolen anything from you, but I think you guys were super upset when you figured I masturbated in all your showers.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh no, I wasn't mad about
that.
I wasn't mad about you doing that. You broke my sponge. I didn't know why you needed to do that.
Oh, God. I wasn't.
That one sucked.
I wasn't mad when you told me. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, why would you even?
There's other places. You know, you could have just went to the bathroom.
Hold it in. I needed to get it out.
I feel it. I won't blame you for that anymore. The older I've gotten, the less angry about that I have been. So
the funnier it gets.
Coochie Lord asks, how did you all meet? So I've known Brian since elementary school.
What was that, like 4th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Brian and Kyle met. So me and Brian went to the same elementary school. We go to middle school. Brian met Kyle because they had football practice together.
Yes.
At our middle school. So Kyle went to a different elementary school, but our middle school all feeded into the same. All of our elementary schools fed into the same middle school. So we met Kyle through there, and then we had a mutual friend of Troy's. It was the girl he was dating at the time, and she introduced us to Troy, and I met Troy at her birthday party. And then after I met Troy, I introduced Troy to all the boys, me, Kyle, Brian, and then it just kind of went from there. And that was like a long time ago.
Can we just say that was the best trade-off of all time?
It was
pretty much, yeah.
It was a good trade for me, too.
Yeah, it was a great trade.
Like you guys aren't as soft, but you're way funnier.
we literally won that trade. We won the trade.
That's right.
That was a good trade.
And you guys, back in the day,
felt like we were
they
trading
thought
with Houston.
the boys thought that that I was like too cool, or that I didn't think that they were cool enough to hang out, and I thought it was the other way around. I thought I wasn't cool enough to fit into their dynamic that they had already established.
We thought
we had to break those walls down.
We thought his not talking and not really doing much was him not giving a shit about us.
Right.
So we're like, all right, well, what the fuck's up with this dude?
Well, Troy would
and
always
then it was like Troy was intimidated because we knew each other for so many fucking
years. Yeah, they had
years.
such a deep relationship, and I was like,
now we have a deep relationship.
Now we are. Whoa. Yeah, now we penetrate together.
Troy Troy would do this
penetration.
thing. Troy would do this thing where he'd hang out with us for like 5-6 hours, and then randomly at like 10:30 at night, he'd be like, "I have to leave," and he would just get up and leave. And you're like, I would always look at Brian and be like, "Did we say something?"
Looking back at that is the most Troy thing I've ever fucking heard.
I mean, well, he's from a different time. He's from 40, 57.
He's from 40, 57. He's also from 1602 and 1207.
Makes sense.
Lots of times.
What fruit or vegetable would you most want to be for the rest of your life?
Kiwi.
I was going to say kiwi.
Wow.
I knew you were going to go for it. I had to take it first.
I'd be a cucumber.
You went with cucumber, not the eggplant?
Yeah, plenty of cucumbers in the world.
You're
dog.
such a
That's
bum.
a really, really long cucumber.
Who would win in a 2v2 boxing fight?
Versus who?
I don't know. We got to make the teams right now.
Are we just like, what are we talking?
I don't know.
Well, we all know
Are
I'm
we
the
talking
champ
like
here,
in,
so,
are we talking in game or actually, is it in game boxing or is it in live boxing?
Okay, because in real life, me and Troy would have to be split up, but
thanks.
Bigger.
Yeah, okay.
They're bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bigger, yeah. I don't know. I think I'm a lot faster, but yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely quicker.
I have a hell of a punch.
Yes.
I have a hell of a punch.
Troy has a hell
I've
of a
never
punch.
I've never hit anyone from the group with even a fraction of my full force.
Yeah, but even when you
Yeah.
pat us on the back, I feel a little...
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but Brian is fast,
'cause
and Brian has trained for a long time. So
Troy-
Brian's a threat.
have you ever watched Troy lift? All he does is upper body lifts.
That's very true.
I have
Boxing might be a decent forte for
I have
him.
a strong punch, and I have trained jiu-jitsu enough to have at least some ground game. I wrestled in high school. But if we're just doing boxing, man, you guys would all have a real hard time with me. So I think if Kyle and Brian were together, me and Wyatt would have a really good shot at it.
I might have a good left. That's maybe all I got.
Yeah.
And maybe one of those.
Yeah.
You just
That's
catch us
probably-
one of us with a hard left.
That's what I'd have to do. That's what I'd have to wait for. What is your guys' favorite game of all time? I'll go first. Uncharted 3 multiplayer was by far and away the greatest and most fun experience I've ever had in life. And you got to remember, when we're talking about favorite games, it sounds dumb to say this, but it also you got to take into account the time at which you were playing it, because now that we're older, we don't have that time to spare. We don't have as much, and there's not as much time to dedicate to it. And there's also a lot of things going on in life to where even when you are putting time towards it, you're like, I really shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
When you're younger and playing a game and you have nothing to worry about other than playing that game, yeah, that was right in my wheelhouse. Uncharted 3 multiplayer was the closest thing to, I think, Apex that I've had. It was all about movement, very little gun skill. It was third person, though, and it was so fun to run around. That's why I loved Apex third person. That was my favorite game of all time. What do you guys have?
I have two. From, considering the time in which I played it, there was an old online game where you had, a spaceship that you would upgrade and, you'd go through levels. It was kind of 3D, but it was called Dark Orbit. I guarantee none of you guys have ever played it. But that one has a special place in my heart. Maybe one of our listeners. You played that?
Yeah, I played
Dude, that game was special to me.
Yeah, that game's
But, in terms of my more, junior high and high school years plus, Dark Souls 1 was the best game I've ever played, for sure. I probably have sunk more hours into that game than almost any other game combined.
Yeah, let's see. I love RPGs. That's always been my thing from being a kid, even all the way back to the most basic thing ever, the OG Pokemon games. But RPGs, Fable holds a special place in my heart. That OG Fable was fucking great.
OG Fable was
OG
great.
Fable was amazing. I have two. One of mine is Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty. The summer that it came out, I spent all summer, every single day for the entire 2 months, I think, of summer on this very couch playing. I played all day, every day, only taking breaks to eat and drink, and I literally just played it. I grinded it. I think that was the only Call of Duty I've ever hit Prestige 10 on, and I grinded literally all summer, and that was the only game I played, and I absolutely loved it. It was a phenomenal time. And then my other one, I would have to say, is probably Halo 3, because Halo 3, me and my brother played it all the time, and we would just go ham in it. the campaign was fun. Halo 2 campaign was actually the best campaign ever. But Halo 3 multiplayer online was so much fun, just wrecking people. It was insane.
Last question. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
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 No.
3-1, man.
3-1.
3-1. I don't give a shit.
What's your reasoning for being an idiot?
I have no reasoning for that, but pineapple does not belong on pizza.
Give me there's no reason why it doesn't belong on pizza.
It just doesn't.
It's juicy. And
It
good.
vibes, bro. It
I could,
vibes.
I could give
Dude,
you
hella vibes.
culinary reasons why it belongs on pizza.
Listen,
Brian has reasons.
It's okay.
That should be enough for you.
You have the sweet and the salty from the cheese.
You like that sweet salty shit though. I just want greasy, meaty, fucking cheesy shit on my
listen,
pizza.
you still get the same grease, meat, and cheese on your pizza with a slight thing to cut it between each bite.
Sounds terrible.
It's amazing.
Anyways,
Kyle doesn't understand flavor town.
Because Kyle doesn't understand flavor, I'm going to ask one last question. It's from
Shoot.
Allie. Is Kyle forever lonely?
I don't know. It's too early to tell, honestly.
Well,
but
Too soon to tell.
We do have that gamer dating app. You want to get on there?
yeah, we'll see.
Gamer mingle.
They always all the advertisements I always get are huge jugged girls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you
I'm
see them in
always
real
like-
life, and they're like special ed knuckles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They've got hands that are like 5 times the size of mine, and I'm like, holy smokes!
Hey, nothing wrong with big
Oh,
hands.
dude.
More
Yeah.
to
Well,
love.
you know what, dude? You shaving your head bodes well for your future.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a question. When did what made you decide to shave your head?
Oh, so the whole entire plan was when I started growing my hair out 2 years ago. Damn, it seems like such a long time. Anyways, I grew out my hair because I wanted to see what it was like to have long hair and actually take care of it. Because I had long hair when I was younger, but I didn't take care of it. It was a greasy mop fucking sweat job. I was still using 3-in-1s. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to see what it was like to have long hair, and then when it grew too long, I was going to shave it off and donate my hair to Locks of Love, which is what I ended up doing. And so, that's what I wanted to do, and that's why I decided to shave my head off.
Okay.
So some little girl is going to just be walking around smelling like Cheetos.
Yep.
I don't know about Cheetos, but
All right.
Messing with you, bro.
Final question, and I think this is a good question to end on. You can have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life. What is it? If I could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of my life, I would honestly pick time. It seems like I'm always up against the gamut on things, and I'm not always late. I'm actually early to a lot of things in life, but I feel like time gets in the way of things. So what I've always pictured this in my head, where I always say this. I'm like, I wish I could just look at the clock, say it was like 12:30, right? And I could just pause it, and I could take like a 5-hour nap, and then wake up, and it's still 12:30, and click start again, and then go. I wish I could do
Click
that.
where he just pauses. And
Essentially. Basically, I wish I could not have to sleep, and I could just be awake all day, either working, spending time with the people that I love, or doing anything. And I wish I could do that, but time is the one thing that we can never get a hold of. So that would be the one thing I could choose. What would you guys say?
Does that mean you come whenever you want?
Wow.
That would be tougher. Actually, I kind of enjoy.
Right?
I kind of enjoy like the thrill of like, am I going? What's it looking like today?
Yeah, that's right.
Some days, not looking good. Some days, I'm like, wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah,
That's right.
See, when you said time, that's a much better answer than what I had, which was very similar. I wish I could have unlimited tardies.
Yeah, Brian's late to literally
I'm
every
late,
single
late to everything. I was late today, like just everything I'm late to, and I just need more tardies to be available.
Yeah, that works.
My boss would appreciate that.
Yes.
What do you guys got?
I'm going to go the Solomon route, and I'm going to say unlimited wisdom.
Damn.
Yeah. Because honestly, man, every time I think I figure something out, then like I get like 15 days older, and I'm like, God damn it, I don't know anything. Yeah, so I would just love to like kind of have some sense of, like I've got most of this figured out. Like I feel like that'd be a good feeling. So I would go with unlimited wisdom.
So I thought about this, and I'm going to go with unlimited wit because I would. There's so many times where like somebody says something to me, and then later on, like 5 hours later in the shower, I'm thinking of like a cool comeback, and I'm like, man, if I would have said that to them right then and there, they're a fucking bitch. Like they would have never known. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
they wouldn't
Kyle
be able to
goes
come
back
to
through the drive-through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
So, like, if I could think about it in that instant where, like, some kid just talks crap to me and then I just immediately can fight back, like, I would take that.
Yeah. Wit is fun, man. Wit is fun. All right, boys. Well, that'll just about do it for the show. Thank you guys for sending in questions for us to answer. It's always fun to do something like that, especially with our community. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for listening to episode 25. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and be there on at our Twitch channel, Grab My Banner Podcast on I believe it's going to be Sunday this week.
Yeah.
Times are subject to change. But boxing, GMBBC number 8 will be live. We'll be ready to go, getting some boxing fights under the way. Woo! I don't know if you guys listened to the latest boxing podcast that came out earlier today, but Carter said that he's going to try and gatekeep Brian out of the top 10. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off, but he's saying he wants to gatekeep Brian. Oh, Brian's yawning. Brian's yawning. Don't forget to head on down to our Twitch and watch that because that will be a fun affair. Thank you guys for listening. As always, we'll see you guys for episode 26. See you later.
Love you guys. Shout out South Africa.